Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Summer Cup Great League, and let's see what we're going to be running with. So we're going to try out the Pidgeot paired with the Vigoroth and Swampert in the back. So kind of a pretty balanced team. Some would call it like an ABC team. So we got the terrible lead. We're going to switch out into our Vigoroth. This Vigoroth is able to get to a body slam, and then they force out the switch to Superior. Superior is going to be pretty bulky, so we don't expect to win this matchup right here. We're just going to try our best to deal as much damage as possible. Here comes a Frenzy Plant, probably. Okay, Frenzy Plant goes through, gets us pretty low, but we are able to survive it and throw this Body Slam. Body Slam gets the Superior into the red, so they do maintain alignment. Well played by them. So they still have the advantage, considering we're only going to get very minimal farm here. And then we're going to have the Lantern onto the Pidgeot matchup again. We're going to switch out to see if they are going to be switching out. They do throw a move. Their timer is probably not aligned right now. Now they're able to switch out. They are going to be using the Dugong in the back. Dugong here is going to be pretty tanky as well. We're going to go for this Earthquake here. Oh, and that was our only chance. Try to sneak in an Earthquake to try to get some big damage, but they do shield the correct move, and this is going to be very hard to beat, considering Dugong is going to be super effective against our Pidgeot as well as the Lantern. They are going to be throwing a bunch of Icy Winds. These Icy Winds do debuff our attack, and this next Earthquake here will not come close to KOing. Yep, they realize that's the case, and now we only have Pidgeot, so this is all but over. Maybe instead of throwing Earthquake, it's a high risk reward play, right? So maybe if we don't throw the Earthquake immediately, we can break down their shields with a bunch of Hydro Cannons and then switch out or play with the switch clock a little bit more. But this was pretty tough to come back from, considering the Superior was their matchup against our Vigoroth. So well played by them. They do go for another Icy Wind here to take out the Pidgeot really easily. Next game, let's see what we find. We have Pidgeot versus Girafarig. Shadow Girafarig here. At least we have a little bit better matchup here. They are running some kind of fighting. I think this knows Double Kick. So they are doing some good neutral damage. They do get the debuff on us, so that's actually going to significantly hurt this Pidgeot. We go for the Feather Dance. We do get a shield. They switch out immediately as well into their Charjabug. We're going to go into our Swampert. The Swampert here is going to be able to tank this first X Scissor. We're going to build up a bunch of energy and then throw this Hydro Cannon. Let's see if we can get this last shield. We don't get the last shield, so they are going to be able to get to another X Scissor here for a potential KO. We're going to shield up right here just so that we can keep this Swampert alive and maybe deal some more neutral damage towards that Girafarig if they decide to bring back in. But Girafarig with the Charjabug core right now, interesting. They come back in and throw the Psychic Fang immediately. We do not survive that Psychic Fang, which is very unfortunate. We're going to go back in with our Pidgeot here so that we can get to our Feather Dance. This Feather Dance does get shielded. They switch out again into their Dunsparce. All right, now we have the Vigoroth onto their Dunsparce, which is a better matchup for us. Rock Slide goes through, does some good neutral damage. We're going to throw on good timing here. This Body Slam will not KO, but possibly gets it into the yellow. Here, we're going to have to tank another move, and the idea here is to build up a ton of energy on the Vigoroth and try to win that game versus the Girafarig. So nice farm down right there. We are able to get to, okay, they are at another move, which is unfortunate. You do go for one Body Slam right here. We don't think they have another move, so we're going to have to go for another Body Slam if that's the case. But luckily, one Body Slam is enough to take out that fragile Girafarig, and that is GG's to our opponents, able to wiggle out of that Girafarig situation. They basically had the Girafarig kind of just debuffing everything and then trying to grab a bunch of shields. But for them to have all that energy was quite amazing. All right, we got the Rapidash versus the Pidgeot. So pretty neutral matchup here. They're doing significant fast move damage with these Incinerates. We're going to have to go for a move right here. Feather Dance goes through, gets a shield. I believe we don't have to shield anything right here because they only have Flame Charge, which is debuff, or Drill Run is typically what they run. We're going to switch out into our Swampert to bait out whatever they have in the back for this. So they do have the Jellicent. Jellicent here is going to tank this Earthquake quite easily. We're going to have to let this one go because we can survive any of these moves. Surf goes through, and then we're going to make sure we try to throw this Hydro Cannon of our own before they get to the next Surf. It does KO the Jellicent, which is fantastic, and now this Flaming Horse does get to another move. The Drill Run does get revealed, so they have Flame Charge Drill Run so far. Gonna go right back into our Pidgeot. They try to catch a move, and now we have the Vigoroth onto the Lantern matchup, so this is a little bit better, obviously, here than against our Pidgeot. They go for the Surf. We tank the first one. We're going to try to CAP tie on this next one here. Okay, a little bit lag, but hopefully it was neutral. We go for this Body Slam. This Body Slam will do neutral damage. Doesn't KO, but it gets it low enough for a potential shield on the next Body Slam. We have to shield to this one just to keep this Vigoroth quite healthy. And then we're going to build up enough Body Slams for 2. Go for this Body Slam right here. This is going to get the KO or get the last shield. Let's see what they end up doing. They decided to let it go, which is fine. And now we're going to have this Vigoroth with a lot of energy versus this Rapidash. We do get the shield, and then likely we are able to get to another Body Slam because the Incinerate takes so long to generate energy, and now we're going to be able to KO the Rapidash. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with basically Vigoroth with a ton of energy, just ramped up so much energy at the end versus the Lantern and the Rapidash. It was just really hard for our opponent to kind of overcome that energy advantage. Next, we have the Pidgeot versus the Toxapex. Okay, this is kind of more bulky Pokemon to deal with. We don't really have a great answer to this except for our Swampert, but even Swampert will take a while to get to those moves. We go for the Brave Bird and we dip out of that situation. We go into our Swampert and they have the immediate counter to this. So at least we bait out the Grass type right here. This Kartana is going to shield once, which is fantastic for us. We do have to decide whether we want to come in with the Pidgeot or the Vigoroth. We go into the Pidgeot here. Even though these are not super effective wing attacks, at least they're neutral, we're going to tank this first Night Slash here. That still does a good amount of damage considering it's a non-stab move. We're going to have to go for a Feather Dance here to try to get a last shield, but they decide to just let it go. We have to switch out of the situation now because we do not want this Toxapex to farm us down. They do throw a Brine here, and then we're going to see... Oh, man, another Razor Leafer in the bag. That is actually really unfortunate. We're going to try our best to get to 3 Body Slams, it seems, because it does seem like 2 Body Slams will not be enough because of all this fast move pressure. 1 additional Body Slam gets through, doesn't quite KO, and our Pidgeot is so low that even if we farm this down, we're not going to have enough energy to throw right back at that Toxapex. So GG's to our opponent. They're just running a super quote-unquote toxic team, applying a lot of fast move pressure. At least we baited out the first Kartana, but obviously tough backline with double Grass Razor Leafers. Here we have a neutral matchup here. Their Shadow Wishcash here is going to do some tremendous damage with these skulls. You can see the skull going for over 50% right there because of how fragile the Pidgeot is. But we are going to go for a Feather Dance bait. We do get the shield, and we get the debuff, which is fantastic. We're going to try to catch a move here so that we can get an energy advantage with the Vigoroth. The skull does go through, and we get the debuff. So we debuff them, and then they debuffed us. They get to switch out of that situation. They bring in their Trevenant. The Trevenant here is going to get to the Seed Bomb. Doesn't quite KO. We're going to be able to throw back a neutral Rock Slide. This Rock Slide is debuffed, so it doesn't quite do enough. We're going to go back into our Pidgeot here to gain a bunch of energy. They go for a Shadow Ball. Doesn't quite KO, but it does a significant amount of damage where we cannot farm down anymore. We do have to invest some energy with our Feather Dance, and we take out the Trevenant. We are expecting the... Okay, they actually used their Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff to close the game for them. It is going to be all about throwing on good timing. We go for this Hydro Cannon. We do get the shield. Our Swampert here is getting quite low. They're going to go for the Icy Wind debuff. And at this point, we're going to hope that 1 Earthquake is enough, because we don't think 2 Hydro Cannons would be enough. Oh, unfortunately, not enough. The Earthquake is going to be just short, and they're going to be able to charm down our Pidgeot right there. So GG's to our opponent. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.